Sagar, we're going to start. Good evening, everyone. Hi, this is Sharon here. Good evening and welcome to Soul Magnet online webinar. This is a privilege for me to host this event. And we have someone special out here, and that's Mr. Anand Pillai. Yes, I'm going to introduce his background. I'm going to speak about him, and he's here to give us key points as to how we're going to personal brand ourselves. And here is Anand Pillai, who's been is the managing director of Leadership Matters, a company focusing on building an entrepreneurial culture in organizations. Currently, Mr. Anand has been retained as Chief Transformation Officer at the IT arm for $12 billion conglomerate for business and HR. Also a leadership coach and organization transformation guru. His focus is on ensuring that clients lift their performance and behaviors, applying world's best management practices like design thinking and boundary management. His recent corporate roles were Senior Executive Vice President HR and Chief Learning Officer at the Reliance Industries, and before that as a senior vice president HR and global head talent transformation at the HCL Technologies Limited. With more than 35 years of rich experience in the corporate world, he has handled challenging assignments in the general management and as head of operations, from being GM to CEO to CLO in Fortune 500 companies. And he has been a much sought after many national and international forums, in addition to being the guest lecturer in the leading business schools. Mr. Anand has been featured in the book called Leading with Wisdom, along with 30 other leaders. We could speak of Stephen Covey and Abdul Kalam in the world. And he has done extensive research on cross cultural relationships and innovation, and is widely consulted on these three subjects across the globe. Mr. Anand has been the top 10 social media influencers for the HR and business in India for the last 3 years. And he is married to Bella, who is also a professional and is blessed with two children, that is Gitanjali and Naveen, both of whom are growing in the Lord. His burden is to share the gospel in the marketplace with a motto, and that you must hear. This is, let your let your career be the carrier of the gospel, it become a barrier. Wow, that's phenomenal. Mr. Anand, over to you. We are so eager and waiting to hear from you.
Thank you, Sharon, for this introduction. And thank you all for this opportunity to speak on personal branding. Let me share my screen here and get, yes. Okay, so I'm going to get my screen share now up. Yeah, building your personal brand. How do you leverage your uniqueness? Okay, when we focus on what is the one positive word that people use to describe about you, I'm sure you use the Mentimeter poll, and I want to ask you to go into Mentimeter and answer www.menti.com, and I'll give you the code. So go to www.menti.com on your phone, and I'll give you the code just now. And in that code, Let me see, my presentation is going all over the place. I'll give you the code just now. What is the one positive word that people use to describe you? And let me get the code. Yeah, can you see the code which will come up? 512218. What is the one positive word that people use to describe you? So go to www.menti.com and then write the one positive word that people use to describe you, and it will get captured onto the screen. 512218. Somebody has put helpful. You can put up to 5 words. Yeah, blunt, frank. So most of the words are coming around helpful, caring, joyful. Only 6 people have answered so far. What is the one positive word that people use to describe you? Knowledgeable, honest, loyal. Go on, go on. Only 9 people have answered so far. There are 31 people. Usually, when we are talking to youth, we find hardworking, knowledgeable, energy, sometimes frustrated, humble. 12 people have answered. What is the one positive word that people use to describe you? And while the answers are coming, 30 people are there. While the answers are coming, do you know what is that image on the screen called? This jumble of words. What is this image called? Anybody knows? You can unmute and share. This image is called word cloud. And the significance of the words in the center and the size of the words is the fact that this is being used more often. And the reason why I did this poll is for you to know how common the words are. For example, if somebody wants to come and describe you, a large number of you will be described unique, described helpful, and not, what I would call unique. And that is what our idea is. We need to stand out in a crowd. Now I'm going to ask the next question later on. So let's go forward into this. What is the one positive word people use to describe you? Before I go forward, I'm going to ask you the question and I want you to unmute and answer. What is the classic question in any job interview? Please unmute and answer. What is the classic question in any job interview?
How do you look yourself in next 5 years?
Okay, that is
Where
one
do you
question.
look? Yeah.
What else?
Tell me something about yourself.
The big question.
Same.
Tell me something more about yourself, or tell me something about yourself. So, if all of you were to tell about yourself, you will talk about the generic words: helpful, humble, trustful, loyal, and all that. Now, I want to ask you the question: will these words help the interviewer select you? Helpful, loyal, trustworthy, humble. I want you to answer the question. Will these words help the interviewer select you? Yes or no?
No.
Absolutely no, because you are giving generic words.
No.
Okay, so and that is the reason why I want to give you this outline or the need for significance. What is your identity? Then we will get into the what and why of personal brand. And of course, we'll also get into 7 steps of building our brand. Because whenever people ask us a question, tell me something more about you, we don't give differentiators, we give equalizers. That means that which we describe of ourselves will also be used to describe many other people. And so let me give you this quotation, which is the need for significance. The surplus society has a surplus of similar people or similar companies employing similar people, coming up with similar educational backgrounds, working in similar jobs, coming up with similar ideas, producing similar things with similar prices and similar quality. What we are basically saying is the dilemma that we have is everybody is similar, similar age group, similar educational background, similar qualities. Into that world, we will have to go out there and make a difference. Right now, it is placement season, for example, in many of the B schools. So I went to some of the B schools. In fact, I had a requirement of 8 people. I went to one particular B school. They gave me 456 biodatas. And they said, sir, all of them fit your requirement. And what was my requirement? I wanted engineer MBA with about 2 to 3 years experience. So out of the 600 and odd MBA students in these 2 campuses, there were 456 people who qualified for that. And what was my prerequisite, or what was my eligibility criteria? I wanted people who are engineers and MBA with about 2 to 3 years experience, and 456 people out of the 600 and odd were with, first of all, they were all engineer MBA, and they fulfilled the requirement that I gave. Can you imagine me as a recruiter, how difficult it will be for me to select? Because everybody is similar. Everybody is a similar age group, and we said all of them must be under 25, and all of them were under 25. So it becomes difficult unless we get the personal brand. And here I want to talk about the identity crisis. You can go to Wikipedia. I've taken this from Wikipedia. We think that 2 people are alike. Well, that is not true. Even identical twins are not alike. This is the story of the Bijani sisters. And that is way back in 2003. If you look at it, uh, both these sisters were co-joined in the head. And one would think that they will be identical in personality, identical in likes and dislikes, but that was not true at all. One of the sisters, Lada, wanted to be a lawyer, while the other sister wanted to become a journalist. Completely different orientation. Lale liked, among other things, to play computer games, whereas Lada preferred to do computer programming. One described herself as an introverted, whereas the other was extroverted. But they were co-joined in the head. And of all the organs in the human body that determine our identity, is our brain, and they had one brain between the two. And it was very difficult for them to be surgically separated. But these 2 individuals, or these 2 twins, were always wanting to live a separate life. They could not. They had to bathe together, they had to dress together, they had to go to the same party together, they had to go to the same school, and so on. They wanted to live individual lives. For every time a birthday, when they ask, what do you want for a birthday gift, they'll say, we want to live individual lives. But they could not get surgery. We know of people who have had one heart, twins who have one heart or one lung, and those, they have been surgically separated, and both of them are living, the twins. But nowhere in the world was a situation where brain surgery or a brain was spliced in two and the people lived. But these sisters, they were very adamant. And finally, when they came to age 29, they were asked the same question. what do you want for your birthday? And they told very clearly, we've been asked this question for every birthday. Now we want to live individual lives. The parents said no. The doctor said no. The health minister, they were in Singapore, the health minister said no, and the chief surgeon said no, because this is not a near fatal surgery. This is actually a fatal surgery. But they said, we have a right to undergo the surgery. The doctor said, okay, sign the indemnity bond. And after signing the indemnity bond, they went through the surgery. And of course, both of them did not live. Just before they signed the indemnity bond, the doctor wanted to ask, why are you so clear of even wanting to sign your death warrant? To which they replied, we would rather die as individuals than live without an identity. And here we are seeing how clear they are in wanting their identity. Of course, they both died, but they died at least as individuals rather than live without an identity. And here I want to give you 5 ways in which all of us are unique. I would have, in a longer session, asked you a quiz, but I've given you the answer straight away. And that is, what are the 5 ways in which we are unique? We are unique because of our DNA. We are unique because of our fingerprint. We are unique because of our voice print. No two people have the same DNA. No two people have the same fingerprint. No two people have the same voice print. No two people have the same retina print. And no two people have the same body order. So God has created us uniquely, giving distinctive DNA, distinctive fingerprint, distinctive voice print, distinctive retina print, and of course, a distinctive body odor, which is the reason why dogs don't get confused if one particular person is in the crime scene going and catching the other. Even though we are so distinctive, we often confuse ourselves. We have often think we are alike, and that gets to be a confusing scenario, particularly in the situation that I now talked about, where we have to go and interview people, where we have to go and select people. We have to select people on a distinctive criteria, not all helpful people or all humble people or all trustworthy people, because there is a set requirement. And that is the reason why I want to ask you the question. If somebody were to ask you, who are you? Or the other word is, what is your identity? So I ask people, who are you? And they'll say, I'm Adam, or I'm Ruth, or I'm Rakesh, or I'm Archana. No, I don't want your name. Who are you? Or I'm an economics student. I'm a history student. No. I don't want to know what your educational qualifications are. Who are you? And then they say, I'm a son of so-and-so or a daughter of so-and-so. I said, no. I never asked you your biological status. I asked you, who are you? And then they get confused. They don't know what to say. The real answer to this question will be decided after we die. And that is what is going to be written on our apitha. Who are you? Here lies a man, for example, Mahatma Gandhi, he was considered the father of the nation. That is what he is. Nobody said he is the husband of Kasturba Gandhi, or he is the son of his father Karamchand Gandhi. But we need to know our identity, and that is what is our exercise now. So let us go into that same www.menti.com and see what determines our identity. Okay, so let us go back to that same thing. What defines significance in our life? Okay, the same www.menti.com 512218, impacting lives of people, my achievements. Please answer on the phone and not on the chat box. Okay, 512218 www.menti.com. What determines significance in your life? My wealth or my status, my character, my purpose and calling. What determines or what defines significance in your life? You can tick all that you think you can tick not more than two. Okay, impacting the lives of people. Fortunately, nobody put achievements so far. My wealth and status, about 7% out of the people are answered. Impacting lives, my purpose and calling, my character. Okay, 10 people have answered. I'm a little bit surprised. Normally in youth groups, almost everybody is very mobile friendly. And here I'm seeing a little bit slowness, 10 people, because this takes away our time. Please go to www.menti.com, key in the code 512218 and answer. Only 11 people have answered. It does not help us. Okay, the more the merrier, and that is what is the thing. 11, 12. Okay. Yeah, so if you see, most of you have answered. 42% of the 12 people have answered on what defines. I quite straightly, in my early days, I thought my achievements signified me. The school in which I passed out, that was a cathedral school, and at that time, the year in which I passed out, I was adjudged the Scholar of the Year or the Outstanding Student of the Year. So I got the Founders Medal, and I was kind of wow, I mean, really, this is something that I achieved in life. I was very happy after a few days of my finishing school. Everybody recognized me as the outstanding student or the the best student of the year kind of a thing, and they would take autograph and whatever. And I felt really proud that I was. And many years after that, about 6 years after that, I had to go back to the school for some certificate that I had to get. And then as I went back to the school, I thought I'm going to be declared as a celebrity because I was the best student of the year in the year in which I passed out. People will recognize me, all my juniors, and so on. Nothing like that happened. At the gate, all my hopes came to a grinding halt when the watchman asked me, "Who are you?" I said, "You don't know me. I'm the student of the year." And then he asked me which year. I told him the year. He said, "Yeah, that was 6 years ago. There are five other people who have passed out as student of the year." And I kind of got dejected. I mean, what is this? This person has not recognized me. I asked him. He asked me actually, "Where do you want to go?" And I said, "I want to go and meet the principal." He said, "Do you have an appointment?" He said, "Everybody." I asked him, "Do I need an appointment? I'm Anand Pillai. I mean, I'm the student of the year." He said, "Everybody needs an appointment. You can't go to the principal. You will have to go to the PA room." So I went to, of course, I did not go to the PA room. I thought at least there'll be somebody in the school who will recognize me. I went to the staff room, and there, out of the staff room, the chemistry teacher and the English teacher were coming. And as they were coming, I asked them, "Ma'am, do you recognize me?" And the chemistry teacher, with a broad smile, she said, "Anand, how can we forget you?" And I hopes returned. And then she immediately completed the sentence, "Anand, how can we forget you? You're the one who locked us in the room." I mean, she was a fat lady. I locked her in the room, and there was no way she could come out. And were really very embarrassing. So that is when the moment of truth dawned on me. That is, we are remembered not for our achievements, but how we have impacted people's lives. And I'll give you another situation. Many of you this stage may not know. Okay, I'll go forward with that. And we are remembered not for our achievements, but how we have impacted people's lives. So as you go forward, what is a personal brand? Look at it. What is a personal brand? You ask that question. Personal brand is a unique combination of strengths, passions, gifts, and a purpose in life. in the workplace? What is your purpose in the workplace? Because this is what colleges are looking for. In fact, they call it as SOP, Statement of Purpose. What is your purpose? Why do you want to do economics honors? Why do you want to do maths honors? Why do you want to do business administration? Why do you want to take HR? Why do you want to take psychology? They want to know your purpose. Don't say this has got the most opportunities. You need to talk about it in terms of your passion, in terms of your strengths, in terms of your gifts, and in terms of your workplace. Now, I want to ask you the question. What is common with all these people whom we see in the screen? Can all of you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. So what is common between all these people? These 8 people here. Any guesses? Don't worry, there are no right answers or wrong answers. There are various observations that you can make. What is common between all these people?
People know them by their name.
They know them by the name. Okay, but there is another way of putting that.
They are famous.
They're famous, okay.
They have created themselves as a brand.
Ah, wonderful. That is the correct answer. They all have created a personal brand. They are known by their name. They are famous because they, for example, Angela Merkel, or Indra Nooyi, or Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates, or Obama, um, or Amitabh Bachchan, or George Bush, or Jack Welch. They're all having a personal brand. That is the most important part. I'll give you the power of personal branding. I studied computer science, and one of the textbooks that we had to study was that of C language by Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie is known as the father of modern computing, but both Dennis Ritchie and Steve Jobs actually died within 4 days of each other. Steve Jobs died on October 5th, 2011. Dennis Ritchie died 4 days later on October 9th, 2011. And Steve Jobs is known for the I range of products, iPod and iPad and iPhone and the computer, Apple computer, and so on. Whereas all that would not have been possible had it not been for Dennis Ritchie, who invented the generic C language, Unix, and Windows, and programs are generic text languages. So, but still, we remember only Steve Jobs and not Dennis Ritchie. Why is that? Because of the personal brand, and that gives us the 7 ways in which, or 7 steps to build a personal brand. So I want you to take down notes and let us go forward in the 7 steps. What are the 7 steps? The first step is believe in yourself. Now, enough of us are having reasons for not believing in ourselves. We are either too fair or too dark or too short or too tall or too thin or too fat. I mean, just about anything. Today, everybody wants to be well built. But also there are a lot of people who want to focus on looking slim. But everybody, there's somebody who's tall, somebody who's short. There are a lot of people who are fair who go and tan themselves, and there are a lot of people who are brown complexioned who go and bleach themselves. All sorts of things are there. You do not accept who you are. You don't believe in yourself, and that that is a big problem, where people are not having any intrinsic faith in who they are. They always say, I wish I was born fairer, or I wish I was born taller, or I wish I was born so and so. But we are who we are. God has created each one of us as a first class original. Let us not die a second rate copy. We tend to focus on this is what we want to be, this is what you want to be, instead of becoming a better version of yourself. And that is something that we need to really, really focus on. Believe in yourself. Now, I tell you, right from my beginning, even though a lot of people were making comments of, oh, you are looking like this or you're looking like that, I never bothered about that. I said, listen, I don't have to worry because I am who I am. This is the face that I have, and this is what I'm going to be. Thing. In fact, I was so happy with myself that every time, every birthday, my mother was in Bangalore and I live in Delhi. So I would call up my mother on my birthday and I would say, Mom, good job. Today is my birthday. Good job, Mom. Congratulations. So Mom will say, yeah, today is your birthday. Why are you congratulating me? He said, Mom, and I'll say, Mom, good job. Congratulations. Good job. Fantastic product. Wow. Thank you. And then, of course, you will say, my son will never change. And so I would really, really be happy and believe in myself. We need to take this as a fundamental step. I want to thank God for who I am, and I want to thank God that He has made me fearfully and wonderfully. And I want to accept who I am and make myself a better version of myself as time goes by. And that is what I'm going to focus on. So the fundamental step in branding is believe in yourself, which also means you need to accept yourself. You need to take who you are and how God has created you. That is the first one. My mission in life, as I've always been saying, is to be so busy loving my life and the God who created me that I have no time for hate, for regret, for comparison, for worrying, for fret, or for fear. I want each one of you to make this a mission. I know that you're all students and you always wish you studied in some other college, or you were born in some other's family, or you were, educated differently, or you were fairer or taller or shorter or thinner or fatter. I mean, I don't know enough reasons you have when you compare yourself. But when you look at yourself and you say, listen, this is who I am. This is what God has made me to be. I want to believe. I must be so busy loving my life and the God who created me that I have no time for hate, for fret, for worrying, for comparison, or for fear. That is the number one step. The number two step is, okay, I am made, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Let me see how I can discover myself. What are the qualities that I have in me? And that I'll give you the 5 steps in discovering yourself. The 5 steps are here. What is your yearning? Or what is your rapid learning? Or what is your flow? Or what is it that gives you the glimpses of excellence? And what is it that gives you the satisfaction? Gallup organization has given us the 5Q of discovering yourself. Let me give you the individual questions so that you can ask this of yourself and discover yourself. The first one is yearning. What kinds of activities are you naturally drawn? What is it that you're naturally drawn when there is nothing else to do? That is giving you an indication that this is something that you need to discover, your yearning. What kind of activities are you naturally drawn? The second question that you need to ask is, out of all those activities that you're naturally drawn, what kind of activities do you seem to pick up quickly? For example, the activities that you're naturally drawn could be about 7 or 8. Out of that, about 6 or 7 could be activities that you seem to pick up quickly, whether you read about it or not. That is a further shortlist. The next shortlist will be, out of that 6 or 7, what activities do the step come to you automatically, as if it is hardwired in you? That could be about 4 or 5, because this comes automatically without additional coaching, without additional steps. For example, I don't know if you've come across people with mechanical intelligence, a particular gadget is not working. You go and fix it, you ask them to fix it, and they fix it. Oh, I can do it. That is the next step. Then, out of that 3 or 4, during what activities have you had moments of subconscious excellence when you thought, how can I do that? Is this me doing it? So that excellence is another indication. By that time, you would have come out to a short list of about 2 or 3. And then you ask the next question, satisfaction. What activities give you a kick, either while doing them or immediately after finishing them, where you think, oh, when can I do that again? That is your moment of truth, and that is your inner strength. So that is what you need to discover. Having discovered yourself, you need to go on to the third step of reinventing yourself. How do you reinvent yourself? And here I want to give you a story. Even though none of you in this room would have been born around this time, 1975, all of you know at least the movie Diwar, and you know both these actors. One is no more, Shashi Kapoor and Amitabh Bachchan. They were very popular actors at that point in time. And just for your information, do you know who was more popular out of these two actors in 1975? Anybody? More popular between these two? Well, actually, it was Shashi Kapoor. Yeah, Shashi Kapoor was far more popular in 1975. But the only problem with Shashi Kapoor was he was only playing one role. That's it. Hero, 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 hero. Whereas Amitabh Bachchan has played the role of a hero, he's played the role of a comedian, he's played the role of a villain, he's played the role of father, he's played the role of son, he's played the role of grandson. In fact, he's played the role of son for his own son. He's played a variety of roles and he has reinvented himself. So in 1975, and you look at it a few years ago, how the two are, and if you look at it at the awards ceremony, it was quite strange. Two members of this family, or for that matter, even one politician is also not there. So what is the secret? The secret is how well they reinvented themselves. Amitabh Bachchan, for example, has reinvented himself in many roles, in many things, and that is what we need to do. How can we reinvent ourselves? Look at this particular diagram here. This has got the courage zone and the comfort zone. We need to, whatever we are doing, 60% of whatever we are doing must come naturally to us. That is the things that I usually do or the things that I enjoy doing, 60%. But I need to pick up activities which I need to put in effort, which comes from my courage zone, which is difficult to do, which requires a higher duty, where maybe some amount of fear. I need to conquer my fear. So in my list of activities, 60% must be natural to me. 40% I need to have that courage, and I need to pick up those things. But I need to also revisit them once in every 18 to 36 months. The reason for that is, after 18 to 36 months, those activities that I once feared, those activities that I once was finding it difficult to do, those activities that were unexplored or risky will now become risky. And when I revisit that, the size of the circle becomes bigger. And that is how we reinvent ourselves. Having reinvented ourselves, the next step that we will have to do is to build ourselves. How do you build yourself? You build yourself through white spaces. And here I'll just tell a story, small story. There was this visitor many decades ago who visited his friend. His friend wasn't there. His friend's son was there. So the boy asked him, "Sir, please tell me your name so that when daddy comes, I will tell who came." He says, "No, no, give me a sheet of paper and a pencil." So the boy gave the sheet of paper and a pencil, and the visitor just drew a circle and gave it back. And he said, "Give this sheet of paper to your dad. Dad will know who visited." The boy said, "Sir, I will look like a fool. Please tell me who you are. What is your name?" He said, "It's okay. Just give your dad the sheet of paper. He will look at the drawing and he will know who came." Irrespective, in spite of the fact that the boy asked the visitor several times, "Sir, tell me your name," he did not tell the name. Instead, he said, "Just give the sheet of paper with the circle and your dad will know." Finally, when the dad came, the boy went to him and said, "Dad, a strange visitor came to see you." So the dad asked him, "Why is he strange?" Because irrespective of the number of times I asked him what his name was, he never told me. He just gave me the sheet of paper, drew a circle, and he said, "You will know who it was." When the dad saw the circle, the perfect circle, immediately he said, "Wow, Leonardo da Vinci has visited, because only he could draw a perfect circle in a free hand. And that is what will enable you to create your individual signature. So, how do you create your individual signature? There are 5 steps that I want to give you. Study the business. Study the business opportunities and map it to your passion. There are a lot of business opportunities that are there. Digital marketing, digital exploration, social media. So many things are there, but not all of them may be your passion. Map it to your passion. Once you map it to your passion, next step is create a big entry barrier for yourself, and then move towards something, some goal, which is what is asked in companies. What do you want to become? What do you want to move towards? And then, of course, while you network with friends, make sure that you network with friends who add value to that dream, to that ambition, to that goal that you have, and not just aggregators, and create your own blue ocean. How do you create your own blue ocean? You basically focus on eliminating that which is low in value and reducing and creating that which is high in value and low cost. Having done that, you need to let go of 3 things. What are the 3 things that you'll have to let go? You'll have to let go of affirmation for accomplishment. Don't look for affirmation, well done, or all that, because you need to focus on getting things done, accomplishment. Let go of affirmation. The second one that you'll have to let go is let go of security. Don't do things because it makes you secure, but do things because it makes you significant. Let go of security for significance. And the third one you'll have to let go is let go of immediate victory for the sake of long term sustainability. Let go of, don't expect everything to come out immediately. We are living in an age of instant gratification, and we need to be very sensitive that bulk of the things that we do may give us long term result. So we need to let go of that. Having done that, we need to invest in ourselves. There are 5 areas in which we have to invest ourselves. We need to, and I really like this acronym, invest in SPICE, SPICE. So what are the 5 areas where we need to invest ourselves? We need to invest in our spiritual area. We need to invest in our values, in our walk with God daily. Are you investing yourself daily in your spiritual area? Are you renewing your walk with the Lord? The second area where you need to invest in yourself is physically. The body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Learn to invest in yourself physically, to keep yourself physically fit, to keep yourself physically agile. The third area where you need to invest in yourself is intellectually. Yes, you got an academic degree, you got a particular qualification, but that qualification is not relevant 2 to 3 years afterward. Learn to become a friend of Professor Google. Invest in yourself, renew your intellectual quotient, then renew your community. Get in touch with people. Don't think that you are all alone. What are you doing towards society? And of course, invest in yourself emotionally. Emotional quotient is very, very important. Emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman said, it is your ability to react to pain and pleasure. And here I want to tell you a story as I come to the second last slide. And that is, what is it that you are doing, where you are doing, that determines how you respond to pain and pleasure. And the story is, a boy was asked to be picked up by his mother from school. So as the mother was driving the boy in her car from school to home, the boy asked the mother a question. And that question is, Mommy, how come idiots appear on the road only when daddy is driving? Well, we all know the answer to that question, our emotional outburst. So that is the 6th step. And the 7th step is be yourself. Why? Because everybody is already taken. So after you have believed in yourself, after you have discovered yourself, after you have reinvented yourself, after you build yourself, and after you let go of those 3 things that bother you, and you're continually invested in yourself in those 5 areas, you need to just be yourself, because you are created in the image of God. And we have got about 5 to 10 minutes for questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have. Anybody, any questions? No questions? Well, if there are no questions, we can close, and I'll hand it over to Sharon to close. Whoever is the MC.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anand Pillai. That is such a mind opener. And we've learned quite a lot from today's session, how to brand ourselves and make ourselves stand out from many others. Well, I'm sure everyone is started with this info that we have received today. And once again, this is the last call for anyone who's hearing out here. Do you have any questions in regards to what has been spoken, or any personal questions? You please put on in the chat group that can go directly to me, and we can forward those questions. In this
In
10
case you're
seconds.
hesitating to ask me questions, you can ask me questions on Twitter. My Twitter
Yes.
handle is Anand_Pillai. That even after the session, you can ask me questions, and I'll be happy to answer.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us in
Thank you.
today's session. It's an honor to have you here, to get you here, to give out your time for us. Thank you so much, sir. We are really blessed hearing you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you all too. Thank you.
Well, coming back, we have these webinars every month. Now from Jan, we're going to have on soon the dates will be released. We have Mr. Chris Dunham who will be joining us, and this is Soul Magnet Online. The poster is out here. We have Pastor William Sones who are going to join us for the next Soul Magnet Online. That's a youth event. And the next thing is we have our Soul Magnet webinar, like the one just that we have today. We had it today, and we have Mr. Krish who's joining us. Our dates will be released soon with the timings, and hope to see you all soon for this event again. Do not miss it out. We have a lots to give. We have lots to share, and do come again. Hope to see you soon. This is a contact number in case if you have anything to share, you have any prayer request, to contact us on this contact number. Ta-da! See ya. Bye-bye.